and welcome to another episode of Legends Comics. Today is a very special episode as we have an artist spotlight on Mr. Chris Mcjunkin, the official Florence Comic Con artist. Chris, how you doing today?
I'm doing really good, man. How are you today?
I'm doing fine. As some of you have seen on our flyers, posters, billboards soon to be up, you'll notice the artwork of the Florence Comic Con, which is done by Mr. Mcjunkin here. Now, Chris, we're here today. We want to spotlight you and find out exactly, how you got started with your drawings, artwork, and everything you do. I know you got a lot of prints out there. You do comic books. You got your own line. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a local artist. I originally grew up in Darlington and live in Florence now. And I was basically kind of originally inspired by my dad as a kid. He would sit and draw with us at night, and we had a little store right down the way that sold comics, like used comics. They had a cool spinner rack, like right when we walked in the door. And they had used comics $3 for $1. So me and my brother go down there, we load up comics, candy, soda, everything with sugar, go back to the house and spend the day reading books and everything. And then a few years later I found out about Legends here in Florence, which they opened in '82 here. So it was probably a few years after that, and I was just amazed by the fact that there was a store that just specialized in comics only, and I just kind of continued, enjoying drawing and reading comics, all throughout, school and everything through college, and continuing on to today. So.
Okay, Chris. I know you're here today for a special presentation for us. Mm-hmm. You have a drawing that you've been working on, and you would like to finish it for us here on camera today. Why not, while you're finishing this, go into detail about the various works and stuff you have going on for us?
Sure thing, man. Sounds like a plan.
All right.
Cool. So after discovering Legends Comics, I got turned on to various artists that were popular at the time, like Todd McFarlane, Eric Larson, Jim Lee, the various guys that kind of went on to make Image Comics back in the early 90s. And I was also introduced to Frank Miller and his Dark Knight Returns series, which totally changed the way I looked at comics. So yeah, I love comics and I love drawing. Never went away. Most everyone I knew had a passing enjoyment with both, but then moved on to other video games or other hobbies. But I could never shake it, and I just kept drawing all through high school and college and whatnot. Jump ahead considerably in time. After college, I was in the workforce, and I was working down at S&W Printing, where I got a lot of hands-on experience with graphic design and stuff I still implement and use today for logos, promotional materials, and whatnot. After that, I was working at a manufacturing company for a few years, and I was basically doing the artwork, comic stuff in the evening, basically sleeping 3-4 hours at night most nights, and just literally burning the candle at both ends. And a few years back in 2011, I decided it was time to step away from the security of the full-time job and just dive face first into doing the artwork full-time. I'd self-published before doing a short-lived Ninja Garden series, which was a lot of fun, and doing other stuff for like 803 Studios out of Columbia, South Carolina, and but I hadn't really fully submerged myself in any ongoing works. A few months after I went full-time, was fortunate enough to meet Aaron Walter, who has a studio called New Haven Comics. Their website's newhavencomics.com, and they publish a weekly web comic called Zero Heroes. At the time that I met Aaron, he was putting together the first trade paperback that was collecting the first 7 chapters of the comic, which was illustrated by the original artist Sergio. And he was basically looking for artists to do these 2-page backup stories which spotlighted the various characters of the team, and he commissioned me to do a 2-page story featuring the character Ghost. So I did that. It was a lot of fun. We got along well together, and then he had me follow that up with a 10-page story for a convention special that he was putting together. And the convention special, at the time, they didn't have any printed books because it was a web series, so they wanted something that they could take to the conventions. And so the convention special reprinted the first chapter from the web comic, which was like 12 pages. And then it was followed up by my 10-page quick speed story called Night of the Bearcat. And Aaron then ended up commissioning me to do the new logo for the series, as well as the cover, which featured Alright, but Aaron ended up commissioning me to do the cover as well, which featured Mr. Invincible fighting Squid Pro Quo, which was a element of the first chapter story that was being presented in the convention special. Either before or after that, I can't remember the exact timeline, Aaron approached me about becoming the new artist on the weekly webcomic. Sergio had done the first 7 chapters, and chapter 8 was illustrated by another guy named Joey Simmons. And they were looking for a regular artist to come in after Joey. And he approached me about it, and I was like, yeah, cool, man, that'd be awesome. So I've been working on that since, and I think that was about May of 2012. So that's been about 2 years now. We're actually putting together a volume 2 trade paperback, which will collect issues 8, which was Joey's issue, and then my issues 9 through 11. And it's going to be about 132 pages. We're doing a Kickstarter fundraiser to help fund the comic trade paperback printing, so that we can have them in hand for the Florence Comic Con coming up here in September. You can check that out on Kickstarter.com. Just look up Zero Heroes or look in the description below for a link to that. Also, on the side, me and Aaron have been working on Dogtown, which is a 64-page story that's being told in 8-page installments. And each chapter features different characters, a different theme, and a different color palette to note the individuality of the separate stories. And it's kind of a futuristic neo-noir crime thriller with espionage themes involving stuff like drones, police brutality, cybernetic enhancements, and there's also a talking cat. That's being collected in the Science Hero Sci-Fi Anthology that we've been publishing through New Haven Comics, and that features 3 stories per issue, including Time Agent Z, which is illustrated by Joey Simmons from Zero Heroes Chapter 8, and also it also features Muscles and Bullets, which is a comedic sci-fi space opera, which is illustrated by Grant Perkins, who is a dude I know from years back that we have collaborated on some stuff previously as well. The second issue was lacking the Muscle and Mullet story, and it featured Relative Space, which was a standalone story with really awesome art by a guy named Kevin Bant. As well as drawing Dogtown, I've been providing the cover art for each issue of Science Hero, with each cover spotlighting a different story. The first issue spotlit Time Agency, the second one covered Relative Space, and the most recent issue, issue 3, covers Dogtown. And we're currently about to start work on issue 4, and that should be out sometime here in the next couple of months. It should be ready before Florence Comic Con here in September. In addition to the work with New Haven Comics, I've been doing commission works, everything ranging from sketch cards up to sketch covers, which are blank variants produced by Marvel and DC and other companies that only have the title and issue number, and you can buy them, draw on them, take them to conventions, get artists to sketch on them. I do them both in commission form and for, just privately, and then I'll sell the ones I do that I feel like selling after the fact. I also do 9x12 painted black and white illustrations with acrylic paint, and full-size 11x17, both traditional and digital art. I've also been helping out Denny with the Florence Comic Con. I did the logo last year for the show, and for this year he asked me to do the main art, as I think we covered earlier. And I've also been putting my graphic design background to use, helping out with the banners and the various promotional materials like the postcards and whatnot. At the Florence show this year, Aaron from Zero Heroes, Aaron Walter, will be coming down. I went up and visited him, and we did C2E2 in Chicago last year, so I figured I'd repay the favor and invite him down here to do the show. And we should have Volume 2 of Zero Heroes trade paperback in hand then, so anybody that pre-orders it through the Kickstarter can pick it up there and get an autograph personalized and whatnot. Also, my good buddy Lyle Pollard will be attending. He was here last year. He's coming back again. I've known him for a long time. We've collaborated on various things in the past. Bo Vader and Brockton McKinney from Action Lab Studios will be coming, and they're really great guys. Michael Odom, who did the artwork for last year's show, he'll be coming back. He's a local artist who self-publishes, and he's a really awesome guy. And also Gabriel Dunstan, who did one of those 2-page backup stories for the Zero Heroes first trade paperback. Sean Hudson, Chris Floyd, a lot of other awesome local people will be here, not just comic artists, but painters and face painters, the South Carolina Ghostbusters, and the 501st Legion Stormtrooper guys. It's going to be a really awesome show, September 14th at the SIMT building. Again, you can check out newhavencomics.com. Every Monday updates the weekly webcomic Zero Heroes, come rain or shine. And also check out my website, junkdrawerstudio.com. And also don't forget to check out our Kickstarter for Zero Heroes Volume 2, which should be up and running by the time that this video is up. That will be at kickstarter.com. Just search for Zero Heroes or look below in the description for more information. I hope y'all have enjoyed it, and y'all have.
Okay, folks, well, this is it for another episode of Legends Comics. I'd like to thank Chris for coming today.
Sure thing, bud.
Thank you for showing us some of your work, going over in detail, you know, about how you came to the point where you are now.
Yeah.
I'd like to remind everybody that Florence Comic Con, September 14th, bring the family. Tickets are still available and packages on eventbrite.com. Until next time, we'll see you later.